Hello everyone, welcome to Intellipaat live webinar on why data science is important nowadays. Today's webinar is conducted by Mr. Shivam. Shivam comes with 12 years of IT experience. He started as an ERP consultant and has been a seasoned data scientist for the last 11 years, having worked with McKinsey and other Fortune highly ranked MNCs. He is currently working as an ML advisor for one of the leading firms in the world. He has been teaching and mentoring budding data scientists all over the world for the last 10 years. So guys, let's welcome Mr. Shivam into the session. Sir, over to you.
Thank you very much. And hello, everyone. Welcome to this session. I think you already got my introduction, right? A nice introduction. But I would just add on two things over here, right? I mean, first of all, I am from a non-computer science background. So those of you who are from non-com, non-mathematics background, right? I feel you. I am with you. I had the same journey. And then also, I did not started my career as a data scientist only, right? I am very old. I'm like too old, right? So at my stage, data science was not so, let's say, fancy at that time, right? That everybody wanted to go behind it. But so I started my career as an ERP consultant. So those of you who are into tech, but not doing data science, again, I feel you because I'm coming from the same roads only, and I've covered that distance, and I can tell you how the road looks like, right? I can tell you how my journey, I'm going to share my journey, how I transitioned from a ERP consultant to a data scientist, and I worked for some growth startups, and I worked for management consulting, and I worked for a social networking website, and nowadays I'm working with a lot of e-commerce companies, especially in Southeast Asia. K-pop, K-culture. You Gen Z people might have heard this thing, right? Okay. So this is what this webinar is going to be, right? It's not going to be something where I'm going to flip some presentation pages, right? No, it's going to be a conversation that you and me going to happen. And majorly, I'll narrate my story, how I started from and how I went from. But obviously, when we'll talk about this thing, right, we'll always make sure that the term we're revolving around this term called as data science, right? Now, all of you are here because you have heard the name data science, obviously, right? You've heard this name data science, and it is in your mind somewhere that data science is the most sexiest job of 21st century, right? All of you have heard this statement somewhere or the other. Data science is or machine learning is the sexiest job of 21st century. That's why we all are here. And see, I don't know about the term sexy over here, but I can tell you one thing very confidently, right? Data science is the most interesting, at least for this century, right? Because we have unfolded a lot of things, right? Which we as a human could not do, right? Could not achieve at a scale level. I mean, humans can do anything, but humans could not do at a scale level. I'll give a very simple example, right? Let's say there are images of, let's say, cats and dogs, right? And I ask you to, let's say, separate them, put all the cats images at one place and all the dogs images at one place, right? If I'm asking you, you will say, Shivam, that's a very simple task, right? I can do that task. But if I say to you that there are 10 million images, now you tell me, can you do it? You'll say, yeah, we can do it, but it's going to take some time, right? And also I alone cannot do it. It will take some other people, right? So you're talking in terms of some days now, right? You will take some days to do this thing. You cannot do it in 10 seconds or minutes or something like that, right? But what if I say to you that a deep learning model, or let's say a machine learning model, can do the same task? 1 million, 10 million, 100 million does not matter. Can do it in less than 10 minutes. Less than 10 minutes. This is where humans have a limitation, right? We cannot scale up tasks as we want. Automation is required at some place or the other. That's what deep learning comes in, right? But before we talk about all this deep learning, data science, and machine learning, and all these things, right? I'm going to write down 4 terms, right? And tell me how many of you have heard these 4 terms. The first term is data science, right? The second term is machine learning, right? Third term is deep learning. And the fourth term is AI. I'm going to move this chart here, AI, right? All of you might have heard these 4 names, right? Am I correct? Anybody who hasn't heard any one of them, if you haven't heard of any one of them, clearly all of you have heard this thing. Very good. Any one of the 4, if you have heard of, very good. But the problem is, in this industry or in this world where we live, right? Information is so much, but which one is correct, which one is not right? That's the problem. And that's what the first thing that this webinar is going to demyst for you is that these all four terms are not equal to each other. Data science is not equal to machine learning. Machine learning is not equal to deep learning, or deep learning is not equal to AI, right? They all fall under a single umbrella, but they are not same terms, right? So very quickly, I'm going to, let's say, tell you from this webinar, you can learn this thing, that what is the difference at least from these, between these four things, right? And this differentiation is very important for you, because this is how you'll justify your needs in data science, right? In data science, you can do multiple roles, but which one really motivates you, or which one really inspires you, right? That's the one that you're going to pick up, right? So I'm going to explain you that what will you do in these roles, what is expected from you, and what is required skill set, right? I'll explain you all these three terms. So we'll talk about these four terms over there, right? So first, let's talk about data science. Now, data science is, most of you might think that this term data science is, let's say, very new, right? Almost 2005, 2006, somewhat kind of this thing, right? No, data science is very old, very old. I mean, the moment numbers came in, right? The moment numbers came in, data science also came in. Somehow, some way or the other, data science was also there. Now, what is data science actually then, Shiva? Data science is any kind of a science when applied to data. Listen to me. Any kind of a science when applied to data to generate insights, that thing is called as data science. Correct? Does it make sense? Most of you might be thinking, what is this insights now, right? What is this insights? I mean, I have a bunch of data, then what do I do? What is insights for this information? I'll give a very simple example. You are, let's say, the CEO of Procter and Gamble, right? You are a FMCG company. You are selling tens and thousands of products, working in almost 180 plus countries, right? Your products are everywhere. Your CEO, or let's say your CFO, is asking you a very simple question. What is the most selling product? Very simple question. What is the most selling product? What will you do? You will quickly go and you will quickly figure out that, okay, you'll quickly go and you'll quickly figure out that, okay, combine all the countries together, combine all the products, calculate their count, that how many are we selling every week, every month, or every quarter, right? And then you'll come up with a number. Let's say a product B. Product B is the most selling product. Now, what you did? You went inside the data, my friends, and you did some mathematical operations, some aggregation, some group buys you did there, and you calculated, you gave me an insight that, Shivam, product B is the most selling product across the globe. Correct? What did you give me here? Insights. Now you might be thinking, what is this? This is like a simple plus minus thing, right? Anybody can do, right? See, this was the most simplest example that I gave you, right? Depending on these insights only, companies, they generate their strategies for the next year, right? You might have heard this thing that, in quarter 4, they are trying to expand and they are trying to, let's say, make some strategies around for the new year, right? Those all strategies are calculated when you give insights from the data. Correct? That is what is called as data science. Now, data science can be as simple as doing some operations, aggregations, and it can be as complex as applying some probabilistic model and generating insights. But it is limited to generating insights only. Correct? When you are finding something from the data itself, that is called as data science. So next thing is what then? What is machine learning? Machine learning says that, very good, you can, let's say, give insights and all these things, very good, fancy, all these things. But what if I say to you that using this particular magic called as machine learning, I can predict the future also? Most of you are like, what? Predict the future? Yes, predict the future. What if I say to you that based on your last quarter report, or let's say last half report, or your last year's report, I can predict your March sales. Yes, March 2022 sales, I can predict your sales. This is what machine learning is. Now, I know most of you are thinking that how can this happen, right? How can somebody predict something, right? I'll draw and graph, right? And I'm going to ask you a very simple question, nothing mathematical or nothing very heavy, right? Just a simple observation. Do this thing. See, this is a graph. This is a graph which is like this, right? Tell me, my friends, where will the graph go now? Will it go up or will it go down? This graph which I drew for you, this green graph, will this graph go up like this, or will it go down like this? Will it go up like this or down like this? Down. And why down? Why did you say down? Exactly. Very good. You said down because you saw the historical trend, right? You saw this historical trend that this is the kind of a pattern that this graph is making, and you try to extrapolate that graph on the future patterns, right? This is what you did, right? This is exactly the same thing machine learning also does. Machine learning goes to your historical data, right? Goes into your historical data and it tries to find some pattern inside the data. Once it finds that pattern, right? Once that pattern is found, then it just extrapolate those numbers onto the future. Simple, right? That is what machine learning is. Now, machine learning is very helpful for tabular data. I'm writing down here tabular data. Now, what is tabular data? Tabular data means any kind of numerical data which can be, let's say, represented in rows and columns. So let's say if you want to have the sales of the company, right? You can write them like this. Product, all the products are arranged in the rows. Product A, product B, product C, right? And in the rows, you have written their sales in the quarter 4, in the quarter 1, right? You can arrange all these numbers into rows and columns. Those are called as tabular data. Now, machine learning works very fantastically on these tabular data. Then comes a question, right? That, okay, do we have data which is other than tabular? It means, does there anything else also exist which is non-tabular in nature? Can you give me any example where the data is not stored in a numerical format or in a non-tabular format? No, right? Anything that you can think of? Any data which cannot be represented in tabular format? No, I'll give you an example. Photos, your images, right? Your videos, your call center recordings, it means speech data, and your text data, your reviews, right? Photos are let's say product reviews which are happening, product reviews again. Speech is your call center data, and you have language also there, natural language processing, which is your reviews that people leave. So a company, when I talk about a pure company, right, the company does not just deal with these sales numbers, right, which can be written in, or sales numbers or purchase numbers which can be written in your tabular format. My friends, there are certain other types of unstructured data like images, videos, speeches, and text, which cannot be written inside Excel. Correct? Do you all agree with my statement? This data is also called as cognitive data, right? And machine learning somehow does not have that capability to, let's say, detect, or let's say to predict this kind of this kind of, let's say, cognitive data. That is why, my friends, deep learning does the same thing again, prediction, right? Prediction, but this time on unstructured data or cognitive data. Correct? Cognitive data, or your images, whatever your images, videos, speeches, and text over there, right? But machine learning and deep learning have a difference over there. Machine learning is based on mathematical algorithms to find the patterns and then try to extrapolate, whereas deep learning is actually based on humans. It is based on how a human kid starts learning that this is a cat, this is a dog, this is a sky, this is a water. How does this kid understands all these things? The same human behavior, we try to mimic that human behavior inside a deep learning. And that is why you might have heard this name called as neural network also. The term neural comes from the human neuron system only, the same neuron system that is, it is helping you to, let's say, shift your hand from some ways or grab a thing, right? Those same cognitive operations we try to mimic inside a deep learning. And then deep learning can understand the unstructured data also. So at the starting, right, I gave you an example that if I give you images of cats and dogs, right, same thing. So as a human, you have your prior knowledge. I would generate a deep learning model here, and that model can quickly, let's say within in minutes, right, can predict all the millions of images there, right? Okay, so we have understood data science, machine learning, deep learning. That what about AI? What is AI then, right? See, AI is the amalgamation, or let's say the joint behavior, right? When you make an end-to-end product, right? When you make a end-to-end product, my friend, that is called as AI. End-to-end product, that is called as AI. Now, this AI can be made up of, let's say, multiple deep learning algorithms, multiple machine learning, multiple data science, multiple static rules, all these things, right? How many of you use Gmail for your day-to-day, or let's say, do you have your personal accounts on Gmail, right? How many of you have it? Okay, almost everyone, right? So see here, you might have used something called as Gmail Compose to write the new mail, right? You might have noticed since a year, right, there has been a particular functionality where if you try to write in the email, right, the email tries to autocomplete, not just autocomplete the word, but autocomplete the sentence. It means the email tries, the Gmail is actually helping you write the email also, right? The language of this thing. And you can see here what is happening, my friend. I am running a GIF. I don't know if this is visible to all of you, but this is a GIF which is running there, and it is telling you that the person is trying to write an email to Jacqueline and saying that it's a Taco Tuesday. So you can see now, as soon as the person is trying to write that my address AD, and then it auto completes, right? Auto completes the complete sentence. It's not your similar. It's not similar to your phone, where your phone tries to auto complete the word. This is auto completing the whole sentence. Now, this kind of a, let's say, end-to-end product is called as artificially enabled product over there. Correct? Does it make sense? One of our friends is a question that will deep learning work for qualitative data also? When you say qualitative data, you mean the tabular data or the structured data, right? Yes, it will work, but we generally, it's like you're using a wrong weapon for a wrong work, right? So it means you're, let's say if you want to burst a balloon, right? You need a needle. You don't need a missile launcher, right? So you're trying to use a missile launcher to, let's say, burst a balloon. That's why it's a wrong choice of weapon. But yes, deep learning can do tabular data also. So these are the my friends four, let's say, major domains, like the most major domains, right? People can break down this further more, but this is what the major domains are. And somebody who does data science kind of work is called as business intelligence analyst, or let's say data analyst, you might have heard of, or you might have also heard of this term called as data science. Somebody who does machine learning is called as, sorry, is called as machine learning engineer, or sometimes this is also called as data science also, right? The term data science is very confusing, right? People use it almost everywhere. Deep learning, again, a DS or a deep learning engineer, and then no term for AI specifically there, right? Now, what should I do to become a data scientist, right? So what is the type of work that you do in data sciences, my friends? Your day-to-day job is going to be, first of all, dealing with data. You should know where to fetch the data, how to work with data. That is why, my friends, data science is your data science should know, first of all, this language called as SQL. What is SQL? SQL is the language that you should learn to, let's say, read data, read or communicate with long data, with big databases, right? Where the data are stored, where the enterprise data is stored actually, right? So you should know SQL, how to extract data. Then you need to know one platform, my friend, where you can, mash up the data, or let's say do some operations or aggregations. For that, you have multiple, let's say, no coding tools like Alteryx or K9, which you can use, right? And once you have done your operations, once you have done your, let's say, analysis, right? The third thing actually that you need is, my friends, a visualization or a dashboard kind of a thing. Now, why a dashboard is required? If our answer is already there, if our answer has already arrived in Alteryx, why do I need a dashboard? See, you know Alteryx, you know SQL, but your CEO, your CFO, your VP, they don't know Alteryx, right? So you need to alter, or let's say you need to learn a better way of communicating your results. They don't want to see your Alteryx workflow, or they don't want to see your SQL code, right? They just want to see the results in a much more and effective way. So that is why, my friends, you learn something called as dashboarding, or let's say a kind of visualization, which can be Power BI, or Tableau that you can learn, right? These three terms are essential to become a BI or a data analyst, right? But you say that, no, I want to become a machine learning engineer. That what will happen? Then you need to learn a little bit of probability, a little bit of statistics, and your elementary mathematics or your linear mathematics. You remember linear algebra, right? Those mathematics skills you need to learn. And then you also need to learn a programming language, either Python or R. Now you need to learn at least one programming language. You cannot survive without a programming language over here. You say, I want to go one more step ahead. I have learned ML also. Then I would say, then you need to learn a little bit of advanced mathematics. Advanced mathematics is, let's say, your integration differentiation, which is your calculus, your eigenvectors, metrics, arrays, those things. And then you will learn neural networks. Correct? And if you want to say, I want to become more advanced, I want to study more, then you need to learn some concepts of MLOps. You need to learn some concepts of, let's say, how to deploy a particular system, right? How to integrate the system with other systems, those architecture kind of designs that you need to make, right? Super advanced kind of stuff. But let's start with the very basic one, right? SQL, Alteryx, and Dash. These are the three basic things that you would require. And if you want to, let's say, switch to machine learning, then you need probability, statistics, and linear mathematics. And obviously a programming language is required over here. Programming language, if you learn, it is good at the early stage, but if you don't learn, it's fine over there also, right? Then we'll move to the sheets. So this is what I told you, right? Data science is an amalgamation of multiple things, machine learning, data science, and all those things. How it would be helpful to a person like me having life science background. Okay, very good example that you have actually asked, that I am from a non-tech non-thing background. What should I do? I'll give you, my friend, I cannot exactly tell you the answer of your question, but I'll give you a story. In COVID, right, when the COVID started in 2020, early 2020, right, in my batch there was this wonderful lady who joined the batch. She was a HR consultant in a very big IT firm. So she said that I have some spare time now because I am not going to offices. So, and she said that I'll learn data science. So she did a course with me. She learned all these things. But once the course was completed, she said, what now? I mean, what would I do now? I'm still a HR over there. So I said, why are you stuck on this thing that you are a HR or you are a life science background or you are a civil engineer? Why are you stuck at this particular point? Why don't you just go and figure out that is data science available in your current domain? So she simply did one thing. Analytics in, let's say, agriculture, or let's say in your case, yeah, agriculture would work here, right? Go and read down these use cases, my friend. Rather than completely changing your life by changing your technical decision, by changing your domain also, I would say stay in your domain, because this is your strength, guys. This is where you have played for a very long time. Same. So what happened with the lady, I'll tell you. She went online, she read something, and she said that there is something called as employee iteration. People join the firm and then people leave the firm. And she said that with machine learning, I can actually predict when a person A, or let's say employee A, is going to leave us. I said, very good. Why don't you try it and make it? She was from the HR department. She quickly got the data. She made some model, improved the model. She did a precision, I think, of somewhere around 70 to 80%. She showed her to a company. Company was like super. The company was like, this is like the supremest thing that we have ever seen. And the good thing is she made something feasible, right? The company could apply. The company also had to use it. That's what exactly we'll talk about in the later slides also, that how can a non-tech person convert to a tech domain, right? So she did this thing, and very proudly I'll say today that she is now in the same HR organization. She is now an analytics head, and now she leads a team of some 5 people who work on making internal machine learning models for the company, like working on employees, finding out which vendors to work with, those kinds of things. They predict and they try to make this awesome thing. So my friend, the opportunities are infinite, but I would say you should limit yourself into the domain in which you are already there, right? Does it make sense? Go today, and this is for everyone. Go today and just do a simple Google analytics in finance, analytics in agriculture, whatever your domain is, just do that thing, and you'll know that there are 10,000 other things that you can do inside life sciences or inside pharmaceutical. One of our friends is saying pharmaceutical, same thing. Pharmaceutical, I'll give an example. I've not worked very intensively, but extensively, sorry, but I did one use case where this pharmaceutical is a very old pharmaceutical, and they have acquired like hundreds of companies, right? Now the problem is every company has their own format of writing these research papers, right? And they're documenting of the experiments. So they gave us a task that we have some 10,000, let's say more than 10,000, let's say PDFs. And these PDFs are not digital PDFs. These PDFs are like reports which are like in hard copy on paper. So they said that we are going to scan these for you. Now you have to make a searchable index for us. So we made a deep learning model where we first of all identified what kind of a research paper it is, then what is the learnings from it. Then we applied some OCR to get the data out of it, get the tables out of the scanned images, then images out of the scanned images. And then we stored all these things into the databases. And now if even the PDF was 10,000 years old, they can still just do a simple Google that, let's say, RNX 123. They want to know how many research were done. You can get all the list within seconds. Just imagine we converted a physical world into a digital world over there. So that's what I did in pharma way long back. Okay, so then let's go to this slide, I think, which is what we have. I think you all are basically here, right? These are the numbers that you can see here. And again, these numbers are like, they have been researched numbers, right? And they can vary from domain to domain, and they can be very less also. Correct, right? Which one is a good tool like DSML, DL, AI? I think ML, because we have a bit of knowledge of biostatics. So see, it depends, right? It depends on, first of all, it depends on your interest. If you, let's say, you say that I love mathematics and I love programming, I would say, yes, machine learning is your thing. But if you say, no, Shivam, I'm not somebody who loves programming, right? So then I would say data sciences or data analytics is much more cooler for you. You say, no, Shivam, I have a very good knowledge about, let's say you're from healthcare department, giving an example, right? And you say, I know very well, let's say chest x-rays, I can examine, or let's say I am very good at images. I would say, you can quickly, let's say, take up those things and convert those things, right? You can go to deep learning and you can do those things over there. Now, this is the slide that I think most of you are interested in, that how can a non-tech person become a data science, right? The first thing is take up a data science internship. Now, see, obviously you'll get an internship once you have a knowledge, right? So for that, I think take up a course, take up a certification, do that thing, try to prove people that, see, I have learned this thing, right? And then get a experience over there. Grow your connections. That's the biggest thing. I can tell you, now I'm not working full time, but when I used to work, right, almost 70% of the times I would get jobs from my friend circles or from my network, right? From my seniors whom I worked for my previous clients, right? They would call me that, Shivam, come up here and let's do a gig together. So that's the thing. Have a good connection. You're get a very good profile on LinkedIn, obviously. Third is involve Git open source project. Yes, very good. Once you start learning, right, at that particular time, start showing people. And what is Git? Those of you who don't know, I'll just tell you. Git is, let's say, some kind of a like an online resume, right? Where you can show people your result online, right? Your projects online. Whatever project you have done, just upload it over there and people will see that, okay, yeah, this guy has done this project. This guy has already done all these things. So that gives you a very good impression. I have been on both the sides of the table, my friends. I have given interviews and I have taken now more than 1,000 interviews, actually more than 5,000 interviews now. I can tell you one thing very clearly, that Git is one of the things which can, let's say, it's a very good criteria when you're sitting in front of the, when you're sitting in front of the interview, right? That guy is reading your resume. Rather than reading your resume, if you show me very quickly that, see, this is my Git and, I've done all these things, it gives me a very good confidence that this guy is not just bluffing with me, right? This guy has done all this thing already. This person has already shown the potential over there. Fourth thing is make your resume talk about your passion. That's a very good thing, but obviously also make sure that your resume is not handmade. Make sure it is ATS compliant. All of you should know this thing, that these days companies don't read your resume manually. There is a ATS system, right? Application tracking system. So make sure that your resume is always, always, always ATS compliant resume. Otherwise, it would go away. Fifth thing is do a certification training with real-time projects. Obviously, this is the I think this is the first and the fifth thing are both the like a cycle kind of a thing, right? The problem is not only you are there who is learning, who is going to learn data science. There are 10,000 other people also with you who are going to, let's say, learn data science with you. So how will you differentiate yourself, right? Try to find that factor. Second thing is, my friends, the market is very good for you. You are living in one of the best eras of this particular decade, I would say, right? At my time, I used to struggle. There was no resources, there was no YouTube, nothing, right? Today, you have everything, right? Today, you have at your disposal, you have almost anything that you want and everything that you want, right? So do take this thing. It's just the dedication that is required from you. Everything else is there, right? Job roles, I think we discussed, right? Business analyst is what? Power BI, I told you, Power BI, Tableau, Click. These are dashboards that you can have, right? Make fancy dashboards, but you cannot power the dashboards until you have the data. So SQL is also very important. SQL is very important for you guys. Data engineer, somebody who, let's say, only deals with data engineering stuff, only talks about data, where to store the data, how to pull the data, how to push the data, those things, right? That is called as data engineer. Now, data engineer works with databases like Hadoop, or let's say their compute engine like Spark, right? That's the next stage. Third stage, which we talked about also, machine learning engineer, somebody who knows how to, obviously this one is the Python sign, right? That should know how to work with programming language and should also know how to work with machine learning algorithms. This is sklearn, and this sklearn is a Python, let's say, framework which lets you use the machine learning algorithms. Correct? Then you have next is data analyst. Data analyst also we talked about that. Data analyst and the business analyst, the roles are almost overlapping, right? Somebody who learns, gets the data and then tries to visualize that thing. So I would say this 1 and 4 are like almost similar over there that you can put up. And the last one is the data scientist, somebody who knows algorithm, dashboarding, statistics, probability. When you mix all these things, that is a data scientist. Correct? I hope that at least this session has given you two things. First of all, the clarity now, right? Till today, you are like confused that, there are so many terms, how to enter this path, how to not enter this path. From this particular, I think, session, I am hoping that you should have understood now that there are so many paths that you can take, so many things that you have to learn, right? Okay, so yes, what did you learn? You learned that there are multiple paths, multiple things to cover that path, right? And you need someone to guide you through that path, right? That's what my friend will be there, who's going to explain you in detail that what these paths are, how can you, let's say, customize your path here, and how can Intellipaat help you at least, right? How can Intellipaat help you to, let's say, cover up your journey in a most efficient way, right? And make sure that you get good experience within the data science group. That's all I had that I have to say, right? But if you have any questions, please post, right? Also, my friend who just posted this question that what is model in the second slide, can you please type in the slide number, because second is the agenda actually. So which one are you talking about? I'll pull up that one. Data analysis, visualization, decision model. Okay, could you say some project examples? Yes, I can take a project example before 15. Okay, I can take up this example before 15. Okay, before 15. Okay, till then I'll also talk about what my friend is saying and give you some example, right? So I'll give you one example over here. Okay, here it is. Okay. So you're talking about the fifth slide. Okay. So one of our friend is asking what is this fifth slide, right? Okay, so this is like analyze the data, then visualize the data, then understand the data, and then build a machine learning model. This is what this fifth build model means. Model, right? Now, what is a model? If I talk about a model, right? Model, just think of it that that's the proposed solution. See, in machine learning world, right? What you're trying to do is you have some inputs, right? And you have some outputs, and you need to find a relationship between them, right? You need to find a relationship between them, and that relationship between input and output is called as the model. This is actually what we do in our modeling step also. Good question. Good question, actually. Okay, regarding some projects, right? I'll tell you my project I did there, right? So I was working for this logistics company, right? For a railroad logistics company in this US, and they were having a problem. What they were doing is there was a train which would start from Alaska, in almost like in Canada, in Alaska, right? And it would come down directly to Texas. So you would say it's a very simple thing, right? Put up all the, let's say, material on the train, and this train would, let's say, start and it will come to Texas, right? First of all, it's a very long journey. Obviously, it's a very long distance. Second thing is that because in US, right, everything goes with a book. So this train would, let's just get stopped at almost 8 different locations. 8 different locations, and they would manually check the train for defects. Now, train can have multiple defects, right? Let's take an example that you are carrying, let's say, some flammable liquid, right? Like kerosene or some kind of a petroleum, let's say, liquid that you are traveling in the, you're transporting through this train, right? And they are carried in something called as tank cars, So now if this tank car has to wait at 8 stations, and every station they're checking for defects. Now defects can be of multiple types. Like, let's say the nozzle of the gas tank is closed. If it is properly closed, the channel between the two nozzle is open or not. So there are multiple defects that they'll check, and they'll check it for the complete train. And a train might have, let's say, somewhere around 50 to 60 wagons attached to it. So just imagine how much time it would take. There was a calculation that they did, and it took almost 48 minutes for them to completely, let's say, inspect a train. Now 48 into 8 minutes. Most of you are thinking this number is not big number, right? I mean, this much time so we can spend, right? Nah, that's the problem. This rail track is only one, right? And there are multiple trains which are waiting in the background to get pushed up once this, let's say, gets cleared up. So this 48 into 8 is actually increasing the time more and more and more, to such an extent that at one point there will be, let's say, somewhere around 50 trains which are waiting in the queue to get dispatched up. So the company was losing a lot of money, So what we did, I'll tell you in very simple terms, right? What we did is that, let's say, this is the track. This is the track in which the trains would come up. So what we did is we built a, let's say, a oval kind of a structure from which the train would pass, right? From which the train would pass like this. The train would pass, and we made a oval kind of a structure, and this structure contained some 12 high-speed action cameras, and they would take the images of the train. Now, because we have taken the images of the train, what would happen? These images will go to a server, and which is kept at the train station. The server will quickly calculate that what kind of a train it is, first of all. And once the train is identified, you will check for defects at every wagon, right? You will check for defects. If there is a defect, what is going to happen? On the iPad of the station master, there will be a report which will be generated. It will say that, yes, there is a defect. So the train would get stopped, and they would check for defects. If there is no defect, the train would pass by. Nobody would even check. The train wouldn't even stop. So in the best case scenario, you saved 48 minutes, right? But even in the worst case scenario, let's say there was a defect. So what is going to happen? The report will tell you that at the 17th wagon, your nozzle defect has appeared, right? Your nozzle defect has appeared. So what will happen? That guy is not going to manually inspect the complete train, but rather that guy is only going to go, the inspection guy is going to go at the 17th wagon only and check for the nozzle defect, repair the defect, and the train can go. Maximum time taken is less than 15 minutes. Obviously, if it is not a big kind of a tragedy over there, but yes, 15 minutes at an average disposal was there. This is what I did. This was a 3-month project that we did here for one, let's say, one of the out of the 8, disposal point, and at the 8 inspection points, at one point we did this thing, and later we scaled it to all the points. And the company, after 1 year, they reported in their annual report, they saved $3 million in just 1 quarter. In just 1 quarter, they saved $3 million. So this is one of the fancy projects that I have done. And right now I'm working with a lot of Korean friends, right? And I'm working in the e-commerce domain where we are helping our clients to get the dresses very easily. Now, what is the biggest problem that you guys face today when you do online shopping? That you cannot find exactly what you're looking for, right? You want a blue denim, let's say jeans, or let's say you want a, let's say, blue check shirt, right? Blue check shirt. So what is going to happen? You're going to write down blue check shirt on Amazon, but the blue that you want is very different from what Amazon is showing, right? The check that you want is a large check, but Amazon is showing you light, let's say, or small check shapes, right? That's the biggest problem that people face. Their user experience is not so good on Amazon, because what they're looking out for and what the Amazon is giving the results of the search is very different. So what we did, we made something called as image search. You like something, you take a snapshot of that. Let's say your favorite footballer, right? The footballer is wearing your, let's say, the t-shirt that the footballer is wearing. You want that one. Bring that image, right? Bring that image of that footballer, upload it on the platform. The platform will identify that these are the apparels in this particular image, right? This is the t-shirt, this is the shorts that the footballer is wearing, this is the shoes which are identified, right? And it will bring all the similar looking shirts, shorts, and shoes in front of you. You will say, I want only t-shirts, checkbox the t-shirt, and it will bring you all similar looking t-shirts for you. That is what I am working right now these days to excel at this thing, right? And especially for females, this works a lot. So female jewelry is there, female handbags are there, right? They cannot express this thing at what is the color, right? Now, lime pumpkin peach color, that's I don't know, this might be a color, but I don't know, people are writing these weird search queries over there, and the product does not understand these things. Product understands images much better. So we made a deep learning model which can, let's say, generate image. You can take your images and can, let's say, cross verify with the images inside the database, and can tell you that, see, this is the nearest handbag that you're looking for, which is with us, and this is it. One of the questions from our friend is that how we handle large data in small period of time for critical situations. That's a very good question. That the biggest problem that you will face, my friends, is that the amount of data that we are generating every day, right, is more than from the previous day. Then that's a very logical thing, right? I'll give you one more example, that the data that we have generated in past 3 years is more than ever generated in the entire history of mankind. You have alone generated more data in last 3 years. That's the amount of data that we are dealing with and we are moving with. So that's the biggest problem. That how do you do? So first of all, my friend, there are infrastructure problems. So you don't need to worry. There will be infrastructure, like, let's say, they will replace your SQL DB with a, let's say, non-SQL parameter, or they'll, let's say, introduce something called as Presto, or they'll try to give you Hive. Second, you will try and not go to traditional machine learning like sklearn, but you'll go to Spark MLlib, right? So don't worry, there are infrastructure changes that will happen at an institutional level or at an organization level, and you can leverage them. Don't worry that, if the company does not have the capability to, let's say, extract 10 million lines, they won't ask you to do that thing also, right? Does it answer your question, my friend? That's the first thing. Second thing is that in a short period of time, see, this is something that you need to align, right? Obviously, I mean, a critical situation is there, short time. What kind of a operation or the use case is there, right? If you tell me, I'll answer you much better. Correct? Okay. Any other question that you have? How can we get the correct data for a situation, and a single problem can have multiple perspectives? How many perspectives should we take? No, your perspective should be all. See, listen, that's again a good question, but See, you have given the answer also. There are multiple perspectives. The perspective which helps your business is the one that you want, right? If you look from a customer perspective, there will be another answer. If you look from a client business, it will be somewhere else. The one that helps the business, that is what you want. And again, as a data scientist, it is not your responsibility to decide which situation is good for you and bad for you. There will be decision holders, there will be stakeholders above you who will tell you that this is what we want, this is what we want. There will be metrics which will be defined to you, and they will come, let's say, top down from you, top down on you. There will be not a single instance where you will tell the company that, see, this is bad or this is good. Correct? This is a very subjective question over here, but yeah, that's the answer. Okay, so if no more questions, right, I have my friend over here who's going to help you navigate your life much more easy in data science. He's going to help you with navigating the journey, right? And how can Intellipaat help you get he's going to help you and support you, right?
Hello all. Very good evening to one and all. I'm Satish. I'm one of the senior mentor with Intellipaat. I hold more than a decade and a year of experience into educational consulting as well. So I've just made my presence to just tell you, advise you, or mentor you for all the learners or for all the participants over here on the right solution what Intellipaat can able to offer relevant to the market standards, or if anyone is something who's looking out for a transition into the technology of analytics, or who wanted to expand their horizons into the technology of DS and artificial intelligence, or you also wanted to upgrade their skill sets. Okay, for all the people over here, I'm just here to provide you a prominent solution which can able to them or guide them out on the best options as well. Right. So before that, I just wanted to share my screen as well. All right. So let me just share my screen. Please confirm me once you can able to see my screen. Yeah, I hope everyone can able to see my screen. Yes. Thank you, Majid. Thanks a lot. Guys, first of all, data science, putting it on a more simple format. Data means information, science means analysis. It's all about analysis of the information in a much more and more optimistic manner to optimize the business performance or to get the desired results. Simple. So that is all about data science. So this data science usually comprises of 4 to 5 bifurcations or verticals in it. One is the data processing segmentation. Second is data analyzing segmentation. Third is data visualizing segmentation. And fourth, here comes the data modeling, okay, building the data models or the artificial intelligence stuff, right? So the what Intellipaat is can able to offer for anyone who, irrespective whether they are from IT background or non-IT background, who wants to expand their horizons, okay, into the technology of data science and AI, is they can go with the program or the certification what Intellipaat offers is. Yeah, I'd request everyone to go to intellipaat.com. And if you just scroll down, you can see the heading Explore Our Programs. There you can able to see the first topic, which is called as the Advanced Certification in Data Science and AI. So this is the program which I would strongly recommend anyone or everyone who wanted to expand their horizons into the technology of data science. Yes, you heard it right. It's IIT Madras. Yes, this is one of the most prestigious and comprehensive certification offered in collaboration with Center for Continuing Education of IIT Madras. And the program is completely a prestigious and comprehensive program where each and every learner is entitled to get assured or guaranteed minimum 3+ interview calls as well. And the program is completely a practical program too. Right. Okay, fine. And yeah, so before deep diving into the program, yes, you see it right. It's no prior programming knowledge required, which means the program doesn't demand you to have any strong prerequisite programming knowledge also. Okay, so the program doesn't demand you to have any no prior programming knowledge, doesn't have any prior prerequisites required. Right. Okay. So, and adding to it, this is one of the most demandable program where only few seats are left for the Duchess. And this program is also ranked as #1 data science program by India TV, with reference to the curative program curriculum, with reference to the mentorship, with reference to the career outcome, and also with reference to the placement facilities or a placement ratio. And the placement ratio for this program holds to 96.7%, where this program inbuilt comes with guaranteed or assured minimum 3 interview calls for meaty roles. Right. All right. So yeah. All right. A physio Barry to everyone. How do you compare this program versus IBM program? Yes, for sure. First, let me just take you through this program completely in a couple of minutes. Then I can able to tell the differentiation so that you get a better clarity. It will be easy for you to decide on it accordingly, I feel. Yeah, sure. Which I'll be acknowledging it, your response on a priority basis. Nothing to worry. Yeah. And I have another question. Yeah. All right. Okay, fine. And so let me just take you through the program info. First, let's talk about the curriculum because curriculum lays the complete crux of this program. Yes, as I said you before, this program doesn't demand you to have any programming language or anything. So you can just go with the preparatory classes first. So all the learners who are enrolled for this program, first they'll be going ahead with the preparatory classes for Python and Linux. So first, the preparatory sessions will be happening for Python and Linux, where each and every learner will be entitled to attend the classes for Python, Linux, and SQL initially, right? So you'll be entitled to attend the classes for Python and Linux from the scratch. So which lays a strong foundational and concrete foundation to build upon the technologies of pertaining to DS and AI. And second, you'll also be learning about Git, which is the file transfer system. Then you'll be learning about Python with data science, where you'll be learning to perform the data analysis operations using Python. And fourth, you'll also be learning about advanced statistics, which is going to be taught to you from the scratch till the advanced level, which is called as the advanced statistics. And fifth one is called as the machine learning and prediction algorithms, okay, where you'll be learning to write the algorithms over Python and build models, and you can work on the predictive analytics part. And data science at scale with PySpark, which you will be completely working on it in terms of data processing segmentation as well, and also performing analysis on a PySpark basis. And you'll also be learning about AI and deep learning using TensorFlow. So as Shivam advised, okay, see, there are two things or algorithms. One is machine learning, other one is deep learning. So machine learning is nothing but which is run over Python. So if the data is in a text format, we usually go with machine learning. But whereas if the data is in a cognitive format like text format or image format or audio format or a video format, we go with the what do you call it, as called as the deep learning. So which is going to be taught to you, and you'll also be learning to deploy the machine learning models on cloud on an effective futuristic approach, which is MLOps. And you'll also be learning to visualize the models and visualize the data using Tableau. All right. So which is the world's #1 BI tool. And you'll also be working on an industrial capstone project, practicing your learning on this. So, and then you will be unlocking your certificate from the prestigious institute through a course completion certificate stating that you are a prestigious student and of this program. Yeah, this is the sample certificate what each and every learner is entitled to get, with a certificate number which is unique as well, right? And adding to it, yeah, on deep diving into the program features, right, or the key highlights. So this program is completely comprising of 400 hours of applied learning, which involves 150 plus hours of live instructor-led interactive online classroom training with lifetime access to the session recordings, with lifetime access to the course materials. All right. And adding to it, also, what is it, 218 hours of course materials, which is lifetime free accessible. And also with 50 plus live sessions across 7 months of time. And you'll also be made to work on 50 plus industrial case studies and industrial business projects as well, which will be focused on multiple industrial verticals like manufacturing, product, service, e-commerce, supply chain, healthcare, retail, media, and BFSI industry as well. So you'll be made to work on 50 plus industrial business case studies and industrial real-time projects, molding you to be an expertise professional to the technology of DS and AI, right? And adding to it, you'll also be having a dedicated learning manager for you as well, who will be working for you throughout your journey. So during the session hours, any doubts, it's on-spot doubt clarification facilities. And apart from the session hours, if you have any doubts, first you can refer the session recordings, and second you can refer the course materials, which is handy. And then if not, you can just discuss it with your learning manager, where they can able to schedule a one-on-one mentorship with the industry mentors for your doubt clarification. All right. And this is 24/7 support available, and soft skills training is inbuilt for all the learners in this program. And adding to it, this program, as I said before, is suitable for freshers also who wants to upskill or climb up the corporate ladder or entering into the corporate technology or into the corporate environment through this data science and AI technology. And each and every learner is entitled to have 2 days campus immersion visit at IIT Madras, okay, at the end of the program, which is optional, which is not mandate. All right. And yes, yeah, all right. Okay, and adding to it, yeah, and if you can just scroll down, these are some of the important roles and responsibilities what a data science and AI professional can play. All right. So like senior data scientist, applied scientist, AI expert, big data specialist, machine learning expert, senior business analyst. Okay. So these are the some of the important roles and responsibilities what a data science and AI professional would play and will play as well. So which you need not worry on it. These are the things which is going to be some of the meaty loads which is concentrated in the market pertaining to the technology of DS and AI. And scrolling down, you can able to see skills to master. These are some of the most important and essential skill sets that you'll be mastering in on taking up this program. All right. Okay, and some of the important skills widely include Python, data science, data analysis, AI, Git, ML ops, data wrangling, SQL, storytelling, machine learning, NLP, PySpark, model data visualization, and tools to master. All right, and you can see some of the various tools that you'll be mastering in as well on taking up this program too. All right, okay. And on scrolling down, you can able to see meet your mentors. Okay, these are the mentors who are behind this program. Mr. Dr. Arun, who is a professor at IIT Madras, who holds more than 18 years of experience. Dr. Neerav, who is also assistant professor from IIT Madras, who also holds more than 15 years of experience. Dr. Babji Srinivasan. All right, and adding to it, Mr. Madhu Babu, who is also senior data scientist. Okay, and you can also see various professors, Dr. Vinayak. Okay, and Professor Shankar Narasimhan. Okay, Mr. Suresh Ramadurai. Okay, and you can see people from world-class data scientists who are behind this program, who have built the curriculum in a more structured manner, understanding the real-time requirements too. All right, and I have a question. All right, Dawood, see, I can understand. Anyway, the trainers are going to be or going to be conversing with you on an Indian accent. Okay, obviously you can able to understand the font or the communication better. If you can able to get my way of communication, obviously you shouldn't be having any issues in getting connected or getting falling into the alignment of the trainer's speech. That shouldn't be an issue. Yeah. And adding to it, let's deep dive into the projects. As I said before, this is completely a practical program focusing on 50 plus business case studies, 50 plus industrial real-time projects. So you'll be made to work on beginner, intermediate, and advanced level projects as well, which you'll be made to or entitled to work. Okay, here you'll be made to work on beginner, intermediate, and advanced level projects, which you will be made to work on it as well. And scrolling down, you can able to see the option called career transition. You can see successful career transitions of profiles of the various people. Okay, you can see Mr. Rajesh. Okay, and adding to it, you can also able to see Mr. Pratik Kumar, and from a technical analyst to a senior technical associate, and Mr. Melvin Brodix, who was a customer service agent who have transformed his career into a data scientist person, right? And Mr. Rajesh Shahu from a BTech civil engineering graduate to a machine learning engineer, all right? Mr. Ankit Kumar from a BCom graduate to a data scientist, okay? And aircraft maintenance engineer, Mr. Mahesh to data scientist in artificial penetration. So you can see are the professionals from diverse industrial backgrounds who can able to make a successful career transitions too. All right. And yeah, and scrolling down, one of the most important features is called as peer learning, where no one can able to offer it as well. So Majid, there is no any specific age limit for this program. People even at the age of crossing 50 plus are taking up this program. So this program has its broadened career horizons too, which I'll be going to discuss in the next couple of minutes to you. All right. And this in this peer learning, it's completely a collaborative learning in the common platform where each and every learner is entitled to have a you can have a group discussions, group projects, group assignments. Okay, you can work as a you can work over a project on a whole. All right, it's completely meant to enhance your learning experience precisely. And career services by Intellipaat. So first of all, upon on the program commencement, each and every learner will be sandwiched with the career mentorship sessions offered by the dedicated mentors who will be advising each and every learner on the right career path or right learning path or right industrial graph or right career curve that they have to focus for the next 15 years. What are the companies they can target? How much is the package they can expect? What should be their ideal career curve? What are the designations you have to focus? And apart from your full-time job, you can also go and work as a business consultant on a freelancing basis where you'll be paid a lot. So especially especially one of our participants asked this question, Majid Mohideen. Okay, is there any age limit? No, there is no any age limit to take up the program, because majority of the professionals, even though they are falling under the beginner, mid-career, professional, and there are also people who are they about 45 plus or 50 plus or 55 plus, even after their retirement, they take up this program so that they can practice themselves as a freelancer, offering solutions to small level MNCs to overcome the business challenges. So these are all the optional outcomes, which is also available for you as well. All right. So on a freelancing basis, you can work on that precisely. All right. And next, that comes here is the job assistance, interview preparation, profile building. As I said before, we won't wait for you to complete 100% of the course. Career-oriented sessions will be there throughout the program, sandwiched, and resume and LinkedIn profile building after 70% of the program will be commencing it. And interview preparation commences upon 80% of the course. And one-on-one career mentoring sessions is being done after 90% of the course. And guaranteed 3 interviews will also be there after 80% of the course, and exclusive access to Intellipaat job portal will also be there for you. All right. Okay. So you can start applying for jobs at free of cost throughout your life. And job assistance is for lifetime, guys. Trust me. And our alumni worker, you can see some of the list of the prestigious companies where our alumni have got placed also. You can also see the authentic LinkedIn reviews of the professionals who have taken up this program and got a job. Right. Yeah. So guys, this is all about the program, and which is one of the prestigious program. Now I have a question. Okay. I'm a fresher. Am I eligible to take up this program? Yes, you are more eligible to take up this program, but you cannot expect a role as a data scientist immediately, where it also endures some sort of on a real-time live experience. So, but on a futuristic 4 years or 5 years down the line, you can aim for data scientist roles, but for sure you can aim for a data analyst or business analyst roles as an outcome upon completion of this program. Yes. Yeah. All right. So yeah, there is no any new computer or laptop. If you're having a laptop with a normal 4 GB RAM with a normal configuration, it's completely fine, because everything as per the curriculum, everything is you're going to work on a corresponding lab only. There's no any specific high level specifications required for your laptop, because first you're going to learn on Python. And then Python with data science, they will be learning to analyze the data over Python. And machine learning, it's going to work on Python. And PySpark also, obviously, it's Python. AI deep learning using TensorFlow, you'll be provided with access. And machine learning models on Azure Cloud, you'll be helping you to create the Azure Cloud account access. And for Tableau, there'll be separate access or credentials that can be provided. We help you to create your Tableau account. So there's no any something specifically required. And SQL also, Excel also, everything you can be able to work on a normal laptop. If you have your own laptop, it's completely fine. Yeah, there's no any specific thing required. Okay. Yes. See, you're enrolled for the IBM program. How do you compare this program with the IBM program? See, my sincere suggestion is, okay, both the programs has its own weightage. Right. So if you're looking out for a program which are global academic credentials, okay, which has to speak in your career for a longer run, okay, okay, or if you're wanted to climb up the corporate ladder in a much more high level designated roles or anything, you can consider this IIT program. IBM program is a core professional certification where you'll be certified by IBM as a data scientist, and adding to it, that is also going to be a globally recognized credential. Number 2. And second thing is, this program is 7 months. Okay. And adding to it, only on the weekends, the classes will be there, but there you have weekday as well as a weekend batches both. And you have the flexibility to attend the classes infinite number of times in IBM program, I would say. All right. And adding to it, here, if you could see there, you'll be having exposed to a lot of projects, a lot of case studies. There you'll be exposed to minimize around 30, might be 30 plus projects and 30 plus case studies as well. Yeah. So that's going to be the difference. Yeah. And obviously the pricing is going to be the difference, because IIT comes with the price range. Yes. At the end of the day. Yes. So any more doubts, guys, so that I can move to the next step? Any doubts? All right. If there is any doubts, you can post me on. All right. So now, all right. So, so let me just put my info. So let's see, program fee is going to be INR 85,044 plus taxes 51 all inclusive. Discount is going to be INR exclusively for the webinar participants, only for webinar participants of today, INR 20,000. I have 5 discount coupon left with me, worth 20,000 each. Coupons left with me. Okay. So any from this participants list, whoever wants to avail the program before 12, okay, and the scholarship works on first come first serve basis. For top 5 people who are reaching out to me, I can offer them flat 20,000 rupees discount. And the final program fee will be INR 80,330 all inclusive, right? And I'm also putting my info. My name is Satish. My email ID is satish@Intellipaat, and my contact number is 917305246541. And if you want to reach me over WhatsApp, you're most welcome. 918047186734. Yeah, this is my info. If anyone wants to reach out to me, they can reach out to me. It's not only about discounts or anything. If you wanted to have a discussion, if you want to seek my guidance or suggestions or anything, so you can able to reach out to me. You can able to reach out to me anytime, whenever you wanted it. You're most welcome to do it, right? You're most welcome to do it, right? So I'm making it in a bolder font for everyone's notice. And we have flexible EMI options also available, okay? So where you can get in touch with me to avail more on it, right? So I'm also posting this over here. Yeah, Bhushan, all inclusive means it's including GST taxes, offering services. Yeah, all right. You cannot able to view my screen. How about now? Can you able to view my screen, everyone? Yes. All right. I hope everyone can able to view my screen. All right. And this is the thing. And I'm just posting my info to everyone so that whoever wants, they can get in touch with me before 12 today, right? So this scholarships will be available only for the exclusively participants of 5 people who are reaching out to me before 12. And what is the approximate time a student needs to devote per week, including the assignments, any thumb rule? Bhushan, there's no any thumb rule for it. If you can able to attend the classes regularly and properly on the weekends, that's more than enough. And if you feel that you want to put a dedicated time, additionally, a 1 hour per day would be ideally good. 1 hour per day would be ideally good, but that is not mandate. But anyway, this is a practical program. Since weekend sessions will be focused only on the practical mentorship, so you need not worry on it, Bhushan. Yeah. And anyway, we have our expertise, support, and learning management team, okay, who can able to guide you, can give you a plan to study the program at your flexibility. So we have expertise who can able to hold your hands and help you to complete the program. Yeah, no worries on it. Yes. Any more doubts? Yeah. Physio Barry. Yeah. One second. In US dollars, it's going to be $1,799. Yeah. In US dollars, it's going to be $1,799. And where you can get in touch with me, we'll discuss on the scholarship for US in US dollars also. Yes. Scholarships available. USD is $350. Yes. And final program fee will be INR 1450. I'm sorry. USD $1450. I'm sorry. Yes. Yeah, Majid, we are commencing a new batch this weekend. And since batches is already in the verge of getting filled, okay, scholarship works on first come first serve basis. But for all the learners who once post their enrollment, they have an option to choose their own batches as well. All right. So post their enrollment, you can choose your own batches depending upon the schedules or dates, whichever you wanted to choose it to. Right? You have a flexibility or an option to choose your own batches, which you can make use of it completely, right? All right. So this is what is all about the program, right? Yeah. Okay. It's Saturday 3 hours, Sunday 3 hours. It's going to be 6 hours per weekend, Bhushan. Yes. So first, and answering to Majid's query, every weekend we are commencing a new preparatory classes, including the orientation. You can enroll for the preparatory classes. First, once you enroll for the program, you will be immersed in the preparatory classes for the first 1 month of time. Then only you'll be deep diving into the core topics. So that's not a problem. Post your enrollment, you can choose a weekend from when do you want to commence your orientation and go ahead with the preparatory classes, Majid. That shouldn't be an issue. If you have any doubts or clarifications, please don't hesitate to reach me on my contact number in my WhatsApp number also. Yeah, you can directly reach out to me. Yes. So this is my WhatsApp number. Yeah, fine. Any other queries or clarifications, guys, which I wanted to resolve it, please don't hesitate to reach me. Yeah, fine. I hope I have answered everyone's queries or clarifications, guys. So thank you. Thanks a lot for your valuable time.